This is a basic exercise in drawing some boxes using linear perspective, and it's presented in this format to help everyone understand how things work and how linear perspective is achieved. Now, I have already touched on concepts like the horizon line and the vanishing point, but at this point I'd like to talk about the surface of your paper or your picture plane. We must remember that we are drawing a picture that looks like it's three-dimensional, but is not actually three-dimensional. We have a two-dimensional surface that we are working on, and that is your picture plane. Everything drawn in your image is presented to the observer on the outside, our side of that picture plane, and it is drawn as if it were going into the picture plane in the distance. You cannot cross over from one side to the other. Also, at the same time, our picture has boundaries on the sides and the top and the bottom, while the picture conceptually may go beyond that so that we only see portions on the sides, top, and bottom. It does not actually go off the page. So in theory, we have boundaries top, bottom, and sides, and we cannot go closer than the picture plane, but we can go infinitely deep into this area. And that infinite depth is defined by our vanishing point. And so to place that vanishing point, we want to start with a horizon. Please take a moment and draw a horizontal line across the middle of your picture plane. Remember that this horizon sets our eye level. Everything above that we are looking up at, and everything below it we are looking down at, and anything that crosses it we are looking straight on at. We then will place a vanishing point on that horizon, and in this case we're going to pick something very close to the center. And for this exercise we're going to draw 3 squares or rectangles above the horizon with the center one above the vanishing point as well. Use a straight edge. And while still using that straight edge, we're going to draw 3 more boxes, in this case across the horizon, with the center one also crossing over the vanishing point. Finally, still using that straight edge, we're going to draw 3 more boxes below the horizon, like this. The center one is below the vanishing point. We will now proceed to draw 9 boxes using linear perspective. Starting in the upper corner, I am going to drop 3 lines of perspective back to the vanishing point from the corner box. I do not need to draw the 4th line from the 4th corner because it would go through the box and I do not see it. I am then going to chop off the box about a quarter of the way back. You can see here that I've gone between 2 of the lines of perspective, and it is a horizontal line to match the horizontal line on the front of the box. The lines on the backs of the boxes will always match the lines that are directly in front of them on the front of the box. So I'm going to match the vertical on the front of the box with a vertical on the back that coincides with the back end and the corner. I then can clean up all of the extra lines of perspective that I no longer need. Notice that there are no random angles here. I am vertical, I am horizontal, and I have lines going back to the vanishing point. There is no random diagonal on any of these. The only diagonals are the lines that go to the vanishing point. The next step is to make all of the corner boxes using the same method. All of the diagonals go to the vanishing point. All of the verticals and horizontals match the front shape on them. It changes shape into form when you use linear perspective. Next, we're going to use the same exact rules on the boxes above and below the vanishing point and to the left and the right of the vanishing point. Notice that each of those boxes only requires 2 lines of perspective and 1 line that matches the direction of the front shape will cut off the back end. Then we wish to erase all of the lines that we no longer need, especially those lines of perspective that went all the way back to the vanishing point. The box in the middle, we cannot see any lines of perspective because the box itself would cover over them. So the box in the middle is already done for us. Consider it a freebie. Lastly, we clean up everything that we should no longer be seeing, like in this case, the horizon should not be seen through the boxes. Speaking of the horizon, please look at where your eye level is. What can you see up at? What can you see down on? What do you see to the left of? What do you see to the right of? Everything in this image makes sense in our brains. This is the basis of how single point linear perspective works.